against a Zerg player until they start getting high Templar tech up. But for Zerg, it's always important. And for Terran versus Terran, gas isn't necessarily that important until the mid-game, and it pushes and gets more and more important as the game goes on. So I do want to point that out, and as well as like Zerg versus Zerg, it's not important depending on your strategy, da-da-da-da-da. And anyways, it looks like Fantasy, though, losing a couple of tanks here in the middle of the field, and Leta actually being pushed back a little bit there, and a big clump of tanks as we see here for Fantasy. So Fantasy going to be able to defend that 6 o'clock position. However, he's not going to be able to do anything about the fact that he cannot get back that 5 o'clock position. Not a lot of minerals are left there. However, that gas, like I was saying, is extremely crucial. It can be shelled from that 6 o'clock position, so I don't think that lead is going to be opting to take that base anytime soon. I think if anything, if he does want another base, he'll probably just take that 3 o'clock position, try to push in there, shell from the low ground. It'll be a really unfortunate position to be in. He'll just have to use some kind of buildings, probably the science facility, to try to push in and get vision on the high ground there. If he does, like I was saying, opt to take that base. And a little bit of an elevator coming down here, and now it looks like Fantasy's going to try to push across here. He has gotten the scan off, seen that front tank does not have a lot of hit points on it, takes it out, and he's going to walk across the middle of the field here. No, just picking up in those dropships, losing one dropship actually full of units there, probably tanks as well. So that's the most expensive thing you can, and the most crucial thing that you can have in a dropship in Terran versus Terran is 2 tanks. So actually really in any matchup other than probably Terran versus Zerg, if you're going Medic Marine, something like that, I don't know, you got a nice drop, you're looking to take out some tech in the main base, that might be even more important. I don't know, what do you guys think here? You tell me. But anyways, mining is still going on at this what is that, the 4 o'clock base, main base for Fantasy. So that is the key to Fantasy's existence here. Without that base, it's like Mother Tree for Fantasy right now. Without that, he's got nothing. So, or sorry, Home Tree. God damn, ruin the joke. It's like Awa or Mother Tree for those of you who get the reference. God, I love that movie. Seen it 3 times, all times in 3D. I love it. Anyways, back to this game here. Fantasy, I think, looking finally to take back that 5 o'clock position. I don't know if he's going to be able to hold this off, though. Leta has a really strong reinforcement route that he can take to just push down there. He has control over that whole map there, the whole middle of the map, especially the lower middle of the map there. It looked like the screen was like humping itself there for a second. I don't know. Go back a couple of seconds, guys. There, see if you tell me if you spotted that out. But anyways, it looks like Leta trying to encroach. Actually, going to be in range of those machine shops. Not going to do too much, seeing as how Fantasy actually can't produce from those factories. Not just because Leta has the range and can take out any units coming in from there. Fantasy just doesn't have the mineral intake, or just the economy in general, gas or mineral intake, to really produce from that number of factories. He's still got 3 factories up with machine shops, so he's not going to be too worried about the fact that he lost a machine shop there. As a Terran player, you still need factories without machine shops just because you need to produce Goliaths, and you want to do it efficiently. As far as, you know, time goes and blah, 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 blah. Anyways, I'm sorry, guys, that I got really nothing to talk about here. It's really not that exciting at this point in time. Terran versus Terran, like everybody said, all commentators will attest to the idea that Terran versus Terran at pretty much every stage of the game can be a boring game unless there's just massive drops going all over the place. But you really need to have top, like, maximum level players to see that kind of level of play where there's just drops and action and expanding and everything going all over the field at all times. The last game I saw like that was probably Flash versus Ruby. Go check that one out. But before that, it was probably Flash versus Boxer on what was that map? I think it was actually on Python. Really good match, actually. Probably my favorite match of all time. For those of you who haven't seen it, go check that out. Klazar did it. Amazing, epic game. But regardless, Terran versus Terran. You see, I can go on this rant, tangents about games that aren't even going on right now for this long, and nothing's really changed. It really doesn't bother anyone. But a drop is coming in here, though, for Leta. Going to drop across this position here. And actually, this is going to be really devastating, especially for the fact that Fantasy has finally taken and put down a command center at that 5 o'clock position. So actually, Fantasy's going to lose this position. He's going to lose the command center at the 6 o'clock. It is mined out of minerals. However, the gas intake, even if the Vespian Geyser was depleted, it is still crucial to just have the intake coming in at all times, because at this late in the game, anything is good there. And yeah, that Vespian Geyser was depleted. However, from that 6 o'clock position in Fantasy, looking to pick off some of these dropships here, and those dropships are full of units, so losing 2 dropships full of units there, and looking to pick off even more, losing a ton of wraiths, so losing all of his wraiths almost. He's got 1 wraith still in the air there. Unfortunate though, he is going to lose both of those command centers, and as soon as he gets mined out at that 4 o'clock base, he is going to realize that it's time, man. It's time to go home. It's time to GG. He is going to, though, try to fight this one out. He is going to try to do it for his team here. However, I don't think that Fantasy is going to be able to fight this one through. I don't think he's going to be able to pull this one off. It's already a 40-minute game. So if this game goes past the 40-minute marker, I think I'm just going to cut it off so I don't have to put it into that many videos. Maybe I'll go to like 41.5 or something like that because I can do that, but I don't know. I really don't want to continue commentating this game when it's pretty much a foregone conclusion. At this point, Leta has just a dominating map position here. Not only does he have a line drawn across the middle of the map, he's got like almost like a V position. His position looks like oh, what is that thing called? In Da Vinci Code, that cup. Oh man, what is that thing called that they're all after? I don't know. I'll think of it and I'll say it. It was going to be a really good joke. For those of you who've seen the Da Vinci Code, when they look at the picture of the Last Supper and they see like the goblet and it's supposed to look like the womb of Mary, or like, so I don't even know, something like that. That's what it looks like, the positioning on the map that Leta has right now. And he's completely, not to mention that position is actually, although it's kind of a funny thing to think about, it's actually a really great position to have because, well, first of all, he has like more than 2/3 of the map, as well as the fact that he's just cutting off reinforcement routes to both of these positions. And Fantasy actually has the Wraith production at the right side base, and at his main he has all the ground forces. So I can't imagine how many of you have stopped watching at this point in the game just because it's already over with and it's a TVT. So